I absolutely love this car. I know there's a lot of haters out there on this thing. I wouldn't have one of those. It's a Hooner's car, a hooligan's car. I don't care. I really don't. I absolutely love this car. This is my most favorite car I've ever had in my life.
This week.
For this week. Yes, there's a million of these on the road. No, they're not special as far as styling and everything else. You can find these all at every street corner in every city, doing street takeovers. Again, I don't care. Yes, I traded a Viper for this thing, but here's something you guys didn't know. It had been wrecked years ago, it was rebuilt, and it had a rebuilt title. So as much as you think as that car was worth, it actually wasn't. I traded it in to Lauer Automotive. He got me a good deal. He was trying to sell this one. And like I mentioned in the previous video on this car, everyone that tried to buy this car had this credit score. 392. They just couldn't qualify. Everybody wanted it. He's like, can't somebody please come buy this car? It's nice. It's almost brand new. And finally, I came along and took care of the problem for him. I really enjoyed the Viper. It was a beautiful car. But as anyone who's owned one or has ever driven one know that ergonomics actually are terrible. And I wanted a car that was fun, it was amazing, and in my eyes was beautiful. But I could drive it every day. If it's cloudy and cold outside, 30 degrees, it doesn't matter. I can drive this. It drives so good. It's comfortable. It has heated seats, heated steering wheel, all kinds of features like Bluetooth and connectivity and all kinds of really cool things. And only 34,000 miles on it. I actually have a friend who's a master technician at the local Chrysler dealership. You guys have probably seen him in Hoovie's Garage. His name is Tyler Potter. I sent him the VIN number on this thing and he said it still has powertrain warranty on it for like another year. So I can't complain about that at all. I have some plans of things I want to do to this car, but what have I done so far up to this point? The first thing is the windshield. You guys probably remember in the previous video that this was completely tinted, just as dark as these side windows are. I don't know if that's legal or not, but it's definitely not a problem now because it was cracked. And Jay Lauer from Lauer Automotive actually stepped up and he covered that for me and paid for it. I got a free windshield out of the deal, so I can't complain about that at all. When I purchased this car, the previous owner had done a mid-muffler delete. No, they're not the resonators. The actual resonators are the rear, at the very exhaust tips. If you do some research, you'll find that out. The mufflers are in the center area. Those were deleted, they were straight piped. And just cruising around town, it wasn't so bad. But when you got on it, it had that noise that I don't like. I call it the blat noise. B-L-A-T. Blat! Blat! I didn't like that. It sounded terrible. It now has mufflers on it. They're vibrant 1142s. So many people in the forums with these cars have put those on their car and they sound so good. They really do. They're still a little loud if you get on it, but it's a good sound loud. It doesn't sound horrendous. And unless you really get on it, it's totally civil. It's really, really nice sound. This is one of the first cars I've ever owned. For the most part, I don't have to do anything to it. It doesn't need to be restored. It doesn't need to be fixed up. It doesn't need to go and have tons of work done to it.
You mean it doesn't need all 4 wheel bearings done like one of your Volkswagen Bugs did?
There was a Beetle, I think it was Wartortle, a Beetle that I had way back as a Turbo S Beetle. The wheel bearings are so bad, they all were so loud, you couldn't pinpoint any certain one. And by the time we got the noise to go away, we had all 4 done. That's not the case here. I also don't really need to modify anything for more power or to do this and that. It has more than enough power. Like 470, 480 horsepower, almost knocking on 500. That's plenty, plenty of power. But there are a few things I want to upgrade on this. This is a tip for anyone who has a V6 Charger, a Hellcat, a Demon 170, a Scat Pack. It doesn't matter. If you don't have the upgraded sound system, there's a very easy way to do some upgrades. I'll go grab Grimes. I got some ideas that I want him to do. And I think there's going to be some really good upgrades with the sound system that I'm going to be able to do that's going to improve sound quality. What are you doing?
Just putting a sticker on for you.
What the hell are you doing to my car, dude? Beware of Bogans. It actually kind of looks like me. Yes, Bogans. This is for you guys from Australia. That's how you say it. Australia? Or is it Australia?
I'm not even going to attempt it.
You're not going to
make anybody mad.
You're not going to make anybody mad? I actually bought that sticker. It's kind of a running joke. I had him put it on there. I think I'm going to leave it on there. Because here in America, people are going to be like, what? A Bogan? What? Most people won't even know what it was. You knew what it was. Mm-hmm. It's definitely a Bogan car. A lot of people in the previous video on this car gave me a lot of hate on it.
I wonder why.
What are some of the thoughts that you have?
Is that your credit score?
Actually, Lauer Automotive said that was a problem. The people that kept trying to buy it ended up with that credit score. I think he said 12 people tried to buy it, and he had to decline all 12.
That seems pretty consistent.
Yeah, that seems pretty consistent. Huh? And when you guys saw in the opening scene, that seems to be what a lot of these people do with these cars. That's about as far as I take it with these cars. I don't do street takeovers. I don't go around corners doing that. And I try not to take out crowds.
Oh, that's the Mustang's job.
Oh, it's a Mustang's job. That's right.
Hey, that's my car.
Okay. This thing definitely has plenty of power. Let's go ahead and head to the trunk. I'm going to show you guys some really cool upgrades you can do with the stock Alpine sound system. In the back, even though if you've got the stock stereo system, there are places in the parcel shelf to actually put in a subwoofer if you would have gotten the upgraded system. I see a lot of people with these, they buy these subwoofer boxes that are back here, takes up trunk space, but there's already a place there to put an 8-inch subwoofer. I'll go ahead and remove this bottom panel and then we'll take a look.
Comfy in there?
Yep. So what is it? Some of the things you like about this car, Grimes?
It's a nice color.
Is that where you draw the line?
That's about it. Seats are comfy.
Okay. Are you ready for some love games? Do you love me?
Oh man, it does have a release on the inside.
It actually has magnets here, guys. Some of it is clips, but there's actually some little magnets, so it just sticks to the metal. But look at that hole there.
Yeah. My darts also got a spot for one.
Yeah?
Because you could get the Alpine system in those, and they were multiple speaker setup.
It's FCA life, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Should have a nice place for the amp to sit up under there too. Mm-hmm. So everything can be tucked away.
Like you've probably heard in previous videos, me and Mrs. Wizard are about to head to vacation, get some time off. While I'm gone, you can definitely, please don't do any street takeovers with this.
Only burnouts?
Maybe. I'm going to have him upgrade the audio system, and you saw it's already a pre-made cutout with bolt holes ready to go. It's a very common thing on multiple automakers. They're not going to make different parcel shelves for all the different cars. They make the same, ready to go. If you buy a certain option, they just put that in, it's good to go. Is that the street takeover starter pack there?
Well, that's definitely a theft magnet.
A theft magnet? Okay, thanks. And yes, I have the neutral blocking plate on this one because I don't want anyone popping in neutral and going off with my car. So let me show you what I'm going to be putting into the hole here. Here we have an 8-inch kicker, 200 watt RMS CW C8, ready to go in the hole. You like putting things in holes?
Not going to answer that. This is a family channel.
Okay. Also, while we're at it, in the front, on the front dash, you can pull a little bezel off, and there's small speakers in the dash. We're going to upgrade those to kicker as well.
It's like Christmas.
Yes, it is like Christmas. I do have a line converter here. It's kicker as well. We're going to use the rear speakers as a supply for input into a 350 watt amp that I have. Like he mentioned, it's going to be mounted in the back as well. It'll have much better sound. It won't be a proper Bogan car without a radar detector, will it?
Is that for your getaway?
For my getaway. That's right. A Valentine V1 Gen 2. Actually talked to Bill, who you guys have seen his Lotus Esprit S4S Turbo in here, his Triumph TR8, lots of really cool cars. The Saab, the Alfa Romeo Milano. He has one of these. He recommends this one. And he's in defense technology, that's his job, so he knows. Definitely gonna have Grimes put this in while we're on vacation. You're gonna test it, see how
I was about to say exactly that. I was like, test it out for you.
I don't know. Don't get any tickets while I'm gone. Or don't get my car impounded for sure.
All right, so the limit is impounding.
Impounding.
Got it. All right, so no felony speeds.
Okay, no felony speeds. The final thing I'm going to have Grimes do while we're gone is in Newton, all the streets have all these dips, I guess, for drainage or whatever. And this thing is just all day long when I'm driving around town, scrape, scrape, scrape. I got this leveling kit. I'll show it to you guys. These are 2 rubber discs that are just a little under an inch thick. This actually goes on the front struts between the strut and the body. It's like a leveling kit that gives it just a little bit more lift. It won't be completely level with the rear, but it'll be a much better improvement on me not scraping all the time.
Need some Lamborghini struts in there, so you can just push a button and
Do the lift.
raise the front.
Definitely. Well, I guess you got your work cut out for you while we're gone. There's also Mrs. Wizard's Mustang is going to get some upgrades. We'll do a video on that when we get back and show you the improvements that were done to it.
That's your street takeover starter pack, isn't it?
Yeah, it's all in the family.
This one's for the intersections, that one's for the crowds.
That one's for the crowds.
Yeah.
That's right. A lot of you mentioned also in the last video that it looks like it's been repainted, the panels don't match, and it's because the B5 blue is like a pearl coat. Like right here, right now, it looks like it's mismatched, but then if you walk around the car, it's perfect. It's just the angles, it's weird. And I actually looked on Google looking up all kinds of pictures of different Challengers and Chargers with these cars, and they all have this weird, especially the plastics. They look like they don't match, but then you change your angle and then it matches perfect. It's just the kind of a pearl coat that it has.
Lexus is really bad about that on their pearls. They're, over time, the bumpers will start to shift in color and they'll look different from the rest of the body.
Well, definitely wanted to share you guys some of the upgrades we're going to do on the Scat Pack, which you like to call it the Shat Pack. Okay. And I'm definitely going to keep that sticker on the side just to raise people's eyebrows around town. They're going to be like, a Bogan? What the hell's that? Other than that, I'm not going to do much else to change this and do anything alterations or modifications. So anyways, I guess I'll let you head back to break and you can save some of the other commentary for after the video.
We'll have a discussion about it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Now, some of you might be thinking, oh, he's getting a radar detector so he can egregiously break the speed limit. No, that's not the case. The reason why, unlike in yesterday's cars, like 300ZX you see there, they had good power, but the throttle was relative. I mean, you could really kind of get a feel of your speed that you're going. And in today's cars, no matter if it's a V6 model or a new Mustang or a new Camaro or whatever, they're built so well and they handle so good that 60 doesn't feel like 60. 60 feels like 30. 100 feels like 70 or 60. It's kind of deceiving. Mrs. Wizard actually commented on driving this car. I let her drive it. Before we knew it, we're doing 90, 95. And she glanced down. She goes, I feel like I'm doing 60. I really do, but I'm not. I'm doing 90. We checked the GPS on the phone, and we were truly doing 95 miles an hour. So we're just getting on the highway, getting up to speed, and it's just like, wow. It doesn't feel like we're speeding so much. But in one of the older cars, 95, you start getting over 100, things start shaking. You can feel wind noise. The older cars just weren't built as well as these. So I don't want to get myself caught off guard where I feel like I'm doing 65 and I look down and I'm like, oh crap. That's kind of what I'm trying to prevent. Also, it lets me know when there's a cop around the corner. So there's quite a lot we're going to do. Hopefully that'll help you guys out if you have one of these chargers. We'll do post installation and show you guys what it looks like and how it sounds in a future video. But that'll give me a little bit more bass and a little bit better sound up front, some clarity. It'll really improve the sound system, and you don't have to hack your car up or do all kind of crazy modifications to do it. And when it's done, you won't even be able to tell that it's been improved just by opening the trunk. If you're curious what kind of tools Grimes is going to use on this or any other car in the shop, check our Amazon affiliates link in the description below. If you purchase anything there, we get a small cut and really appreciate it. Check out Mrs. Wizard's Way. She's got some really good content going on there, some new content. A link is in the description below for that as well. And make sure to hit the subscribe button because there's tons of Bogan activities to come. Thanks for watching.